You'll find the words in your bulletin at the very top under Gathering Music.
Well, kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire, it's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you are ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It'll be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to tears and laughter. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. You must give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Thank you, John. As you have been able to tell, our musician today is John Meyer.
Thank you, thank you.
And our speaker is Reverend Susan Dorn. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for your patience of us getting things straightened around this morning. I know I ended up running late, which didn't exactly help situations. And I found a bunch of surprises when I got down to church that I wasn't quite prepared for. Like the new screen and all of this that just went up yesterday. Yes, in a place different than where it was planned.
That's great.
Yes, so it was like, oh, okay, I'll hurry up and turn on the light, only the light that used to work doesn't, and it wouldn't work on this anyway. You know, so it's been all good, kind of interesting. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah. Never mind. John can tell you more about that if he needs to. You know, so anyway, welcome everyone today. It's so very, very nice to see you. And at this point, I'm going to ask Reverend Susan if she will please do our opening prayer.
You going to light the Christ candle?
Oh, do I do that first? Yeah, I do. See?
We have to light that flame.
Get that flame going. Get your sticks.
Breathe.
See what I mean?
It's all good.
I got up early this morning, and it's been going downhill.
It's been going perfectly.
Perfectly.
Yes.
You know why? Because it's a doo-dah day. Divine order, divine action day. It's a doo-dah day. And I have to try to remember to not forget that.
Christ candle.
Okay. Did it. Huh? How come what? Oh,
If you didn't say it, I was going to.
go ahead. You say it.
This Christ candle is lit every week as a reminder and as a representation of that Christ light that dwells within each and every one of us. So as we pray today, or as your mind might want to wander, I would wander to that light, because that's that light that shines within you. So let's just take a moment to do an opening prayer. You can close your eyes if you want to. And breathe in, because that's a good way to start. And then let out that air. And I know that each and every person here in this very room has been drawn here today by divine appointment. And by somehow during the music and the announcements and the word and the meditation, we are all served at the very highest part of our being. For we are here out of love. We are here in faith. We are here in unity, in oneness of that divine spirit that dwells within each. So I praise each one of you. I praise Unity by the Sea, and I give thanks for this opportunity to be of service to you. Amen.
And we also thank her for coming and speaking to us. So that kind of goes both ways.
My pleasure.
Okay. Now we're going to do an opening song. Congregational song. Right?
Yes.
Okay. You'll find the words in your bulletin. It's Let It Be. And on part of it, you'll notice John will be singing things that aren't on here, because
It's my secret.
okay, and then we will join in on the chorus if we can figure out where it is on here.
You'll find it.
Yep.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. 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 Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. 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 There will be an answer, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me, shines until tomorrow, let it be. Wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Very, very good. Thank you, John. Yes, very good job. Okay, at this point in time, I remind everybody of our prayer box. You will find prayer requests on the back of the pews, so you're invited to fill one out if you would like to, and either put it in the bowl when it comes around, or you can put it in the box yourself, or even in our prayer corner back there, there's a drawer for it. Because today being the last Sunday of the month, all of them are put in an envelope, and Nellie takes care of sending them back to Silent Unity, where they are prayed over for an additional month. So you're invited to participate in that. And I find for myself that it's really very, very nice, because it isn't always a matter of, oh, I need help with this or that or the other thing. A lot of times it's really nice just to fill one out and say, thank you, gratitude. So glad that you're there with me at all points in time. So the little prayer requests can really take care of a lot of different ideas. So that's what that one's all about. And now, John, are you going to do announcements?
Yeah, that's my turn.
It's your turn?
Yeah,
Do you know where your announcements are?
just right.
Can you read this?
Sure.
Here, I'll hold it over here for you.
Yeah. Hi, gang. Good to see everybody today. Good to have Susan back.
Thank you.
Good to have this guy back. Good to have, yeah. Great. Did you notice anything different this morning?
Yeah, you got a white thing on.
All right, well, we're coming together with our cute little fundraiser. And we got enough money to where and I found her credit card. So we got the camera bought, we got everything bought we need to buy. Had the guys come down yesterday and they painted the back wall back behind this thing.
Because
Then-
that's where the screen's going to go.
Yeah, and then they put the screen together, and we discovered that the measurements they gave me did not include the 2-inch borders on each side. So it didn't look nice back there. And besides, in order to watch the movies or the ball games or whatever, you'd have to sit right here. So we took a vote and decided to put it here. And I think it's going to work out great. We're going to mount the camera up above, hopefully, so that it doesn't get in the way of everything.
Instead of out there?
Yeah.
Good.
It's called a short throw camera, which means that it only has to be like 15 inches away from the screen. So that's going to be fun. So I've got the camera at home. I was going to stay home today and make sure I knew how to run it, but she wouldn't let me. So hopefully by next week we'll see something happen, but it's coming together. Then we'll start a new fundraiser.
But one thing to remember, we're doing very well as far as the fundraiser is concerned at this point in time. You may have seen the little thingy sitting around. We have enough money collected at this point in time to pay for what has been done, which
That's
is really
good.
absolutely great.
Incredibly
But we also
good.
need to remember that there's going to be some additional things, because when they went to the store yesterday and had to charge all kinds of things for the painting and so on and so forth, so we still need more to go into that fund.
Yeah, so we got little blue envelopes laying around. If you got spare $100 bills or so, stick them in the little blue envelopes, and it'll help out.
They fit in there just very nicely.
Yeah. Well, August is a wrap. Beginning next Sunday, we're going to be doing September. And starting us off will be Reverend Jean Celia. and music provided by Mike Chast. Then, on the second Sunday of September, and there's a little thing in your bulletins about it, September 9th, we'll be celebrating all of our critters with our annual pet blessing ceremony. And this is fun. I mean, this is always a great fun event to bring all your little critters, your dogs, cats, goldfish, parakeets, whatever it is you share your life with, and we'll do a pet blessing ceremony for them. Sandra Combs will officiate, and we're bringing her new fur baby, which is named Royal Blue. And I think Royal Blue is probably going to be
No, what'd she say? Yeah.
Cocker.
Only ways, she told us.
Anyway, that's second Sunday. September is going to be a busy and fun month. Next week, of course, next weekend, is Labor Day weekend. So it's a great weekend to come down to Lincoln City and stand on the corner and watch the traffic. Yeah. Then on the 9th of September, again, in addition to our pet blessing ceremony, we'll be celebrating National Grandparents' Day. Wow. Just in case anybody needs to know. Could repeat that. It's called National Grandparents' Day. Grandparents' Day. All right. Finally, we put a wrap on summer on September 22nd. Fall begins. And we'll get to see our season beginning to change here. Might even get a little rain. Who knows? That's all I got.
What did you just say about?
Fall begins on September 22nd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's all I got.
Good.
And in case you don't recognize me, it's because I'm practicing to be the Lone Ranger.
But his mask was dark and yours is light.
That's because he is the light.
He's more conscious.
Oh, then the Lone Ranger?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Goodbye. See ya. All right. Well, now we are going to do our daily word. So if you will take your card out of your bulletin, please. This is, what did I say?
Daily word.
I know that. See?
It's okay, Judy.
It's okay. It's perfect. Just like I am. What can I say? Let's try the August affirmation. And we'll do the one for Unity by the Sea first, please. Co-creating with God, all of Unity by the Sea's wants and needs are satisfied. And then for ourselves, co-creating with God, all of my wants and needs are satisfied. And so it is, and thank you, God. And now it's time for the daily word. And I've asked Blythe to do that for us today, please.
The daily word today is actually two: world peace. A world of peace begins in me. Everything that is happening in the world around us is an extension of what is happening inside each one of us. Our individual beliefs are part of the collective consciousness of the planet. My own thoughts and feelings create waves of energy that move outward from me. Others feel those feelings and pass them on. My inner conflict contributes to conflict. My own peace allows peace to grow. Every time I take the opportunity to heal something inside myself, that process allows for healing in the world. With this in mind, I choose to be a channel for peace. I purposefully bring my awareness to the divine energy, allowing it to radiate from me to the outer, allowing for the realization of lasting peace. A world of peace begins in me. So far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Romans 12:18.
Thank you, Blythe. And now John's going to do some music for us.
All right, this is a Pat Humphrey song called Swimming to the Other Side.
Yeah.
Capo 2. I need the Capo 2. All right.
Yeah.
We are living neath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. I am alone and I am searching, hungering for answers in my time. I am balanced at the brink of wisdom. I'm impatient to receive a sign. I move forward with my senses open. Imperfection, it'd be my crime. In humility I will listen. We're all swimming to the other side. And we are living neath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. And on this journey through thoughts and feelings, binding intuition, my head, my heart, I am gathering the tools together. I'm preparing to do my part. All of those who have come before me band together to be my guide. Loving lessons that I will follow. We're all swimming to the other side. And we are living neath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. And when we get there, we'll discover all of the gifts we've been given to share have been with us since life's beginning. We never noticed they were there. We can balance at the brink of wisdom, never recognizing that we've arrived. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. And we are living neath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. Oh, loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side.
Thank you, John. Very, very nice. And now it is my honor to hand it all over to Susan.
You get to sit down now.
I get to go sit down now. Now it's,
Relax.
now it's your turn.
Well, again, thank you for being here. It's really a pleasure to have you all here. So, as the morning has shown us, things happen. At the beginning of the month, I read something in the Unity magazine that referred to a curveball. And lo and behold, that was my talk title for the month. And so, just like this morning, I lived those curveballs this month. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And it helps a little bit because I do know a little bit about baseball. Not a lot, but I know a little bit. As a little kid, my mom and I would go to the baseball games. My dad, not so much, but Mom and I would go to the baseball games, Beaver baseball in Portland. I knew who Lou Piniella was before he became famous because he played for the Beaver baseball team. I saw him there at Beaver Stadium that's now called something else. And we'd always sit just behind the catcher and up a little bit so we could watch. I guess that's where Mom wanted to be. We could watch the pitches, we could watch the catcher, we could watch the swing of the bat. Yep. So let me start out by reading what I read in the Unity magazine of August 2nd. That started today's talk. It starts out, I have a deep inner faith that grows every day. Change can be disconcerting and may require making adjustments in life. What supports me in facing the unknown is my faith. There is nothing to fear when life throws me a curveball. I have faith that I possess everything I require right within me. My faith has only grown with each new situation I have faced in my life. It will never leave me or let me down. I have only to be aware of its presence inside of me. The magazine goes on, and I'll get to that later. So one of the first things I did when thinking about the curveball, I decided to turn to one of my most favorite places of truth, Merriam-Webster. The definition of a curveball: a particularly difficult issue, obstacle, or problem, named after the equally tricky baseball pitch. Tricky. The thing about a curveball, it's unexpected. You know, apparently, even as the pitch is thrown, it appears to be coming straight at where your sweet spot is to bat. And you go, yeah. And then suddenly it goes, I thought it went to the side, but no, when I read up on it, it drops down suddenly. Suddenly. Unanticipated. Poof. Isn't that the way curveballs happen in your life? You're going along your path, everything's fine, or at least even, and poof, something happens. And we have no inkling of where it came from, why it came from, and we just ignore it. Well, that's not necessarily your best choice. So I've come up with 3 or 4, I'm not really sure if I'm reading all 4 of them or not, ways to handle the curveball. You get ready, the ball's coming towards you, you're ready for it. And you get ready for that pitch, and you swing hard, and you miss it. And then you say, I guess I'm not good enough. I thought I was prepared, but I'm not good enough to play this game. Poor me. Okay, second way, and this is the one more obvious to me. You're ready for that pitch. Here it comes. It's coming straight at your bat. You know it's coming, and suddenly, poof, you swing hard and you miss it. And you say, that pitcher, it's his fault. I am the victim here. They caused this to happen to me. They caused me to be ashamed. Blame. Victim. Now, some people, they see the ball coming and they just ignore it. The curve happens, the situation happens, they go, oh, well, that's just life. And they kind of do a poor me also. That's sort of the Eeyore of baseball. And then there's that curveball that you see the ball coming, you see the dimple in the road, or you see whatever it is, and it's like, okay, this could be a problem. This could be an issue. And so you adjust. You adjust. And you know what? Instead of swinging hard, you swing lightly. And in baseball, it's a pop-up and someone catches it, but you hit it. It wasn't necessarily exactly right, but at least something inside of you said, adjust. Make an adjustment. Change how you're thinking a little bit. So, curveballs come in all sizes, shapes, and forms. Three that I'm going to talk about are my personal life. One of them is an easy one. It's the blackberry vine. My yard has had no blackberry vines for 5 or 6 years. None, zero. And this year, there are three stalks, three things, in totally different parts of the yard. Totally different. And they're not little wispy things. They're big stalks of blackberry vine. Where did this come from? I've been taking care of the yard, poor me. The blackbirds did it to me. I went through all of those little things. Blame something else. Blame the birds. Not my fault. Okay, that's a curveball on a really small way. And that doesn't really explain to you how I walked in faith around that, but the next one might. Back in March, I live in North Portland, and I was headed to Tigard, which is a fairly good drive along I-5. And I was taking my taxes to my tax person to hand them off to say, okay, here we go. So, park. I get out of my car. I've had my car since 2005. I know how to get in and out of my car. I've been doing it a lot. I get out of the car and there is this loud popping sound coming from my knee. Ow. And it's loud and it's ow. So I struggle to get out of the car and go, oh my goodness, this is very not good. But of course, I am stubborn. So I hobble my way, in part thanks to a lovely fireman who was coming out of some sort of a practice he was doing for somebody else, not an accountant. And he helped me hobble to my accountant. I get to my accountant's office and the receptionist, he's not ready for you. That's okay, I've done something to my knee, and do you have any ice? Because after all, I know, when you do something that hurts, you put ice on it. So, my accountant's ready for me, so I go in and sort of sit down. My knee won't bend at this point. It will only be slightly bent. And she comes in with they had in their freezer 5 this size pieces of ice. And she has it in a little baggie. I say, thank you so much. So, inside I'm going, okay, God, at least there's ice. Okay, this is good, this is good. So we chat. It's a very short thing because I'm just turning in papers. Everything's done. Now, I'm 5'6", and I do not weigh a small amount. I am a big woman. My accountant is maybe 5'4". He's some number of years older than me, and he looks frail. And he offers to walk me to my car. So, I have a quick mind. I've got to say this. Okay, first, I forgot to mention, the firefighter at the beginning, I now call him an angel, okay? So here's my accountant, another angel, and I say, I think I'm going to be okay. Because my thought process is, if I fell, he couldn't pick me up, all he could do was call 911. And I have my cell phone, so I don't want him to be hurt. So I go very slowly, touching walls, touching other cars as I go, because the pain is getting pretty sore. But I have my little ice. As I approach my car, I say to God out loud, how am I going to get in it? It's my right knee. I get in, and it doesn't want to bend. So the idea of sitting and then bringing my legs over, no. Okay, God, really, how am I going to get in the car? And some inspiration happens, and I can't tell you what it was because I think I was just reacting to whatever inspiration came to me. Angels all around me saying, do this, Susan. Okay. So I get in the car, and then it's like, okay, how am I going to drive? Right? Right leg. Thank goodness it's an automatic. So I test them. I test the brake. I test the accelerator. I'm going, okay, now, here's the big one. Lord, I have to get all the way to North Portland, and you know how I-5 is at this time of day. Granted, it was only like 12:30 or 1, but still. The Terwilliger curves, people drive nuts there. So Lord, really, just get me home. Just get me home. Let the traffic go to other ways. Just let me be safe. Get me home, please. Please. Please.
I'll be good.
No, I didn't even do that. Nope. This was sheer trust. This was sheer faith. Because there was no way Susan could do this, stubborn or not. I couldn't do it on my own. And there was nobody else around me. Because my focus was, I have to get home. So, okay, we get out. The lights are green. I merge onto 217. I merge onto I-5. I get into the center lane. I'm driving the speed limit, or maybe a little faster, but not much. There were no cars in front of me the entire time. Slow drivers, who are often, those irritants who drive in the middle lane, they were on the right. Fast drivers were on the left. And those of us going the speed limit, we were in the center going along just fine. There was not a green light or a red light that I encountered anywhere on my way home. I had to put on my brake a couple of times, but it was gentle. And I was like, okay. I get home, and my sister is home from work because she had been sick. It's like, well, praise God. So I call her. I said, Elizabeth, I've done something to my knee, and I need you to come out and help me get out of the car because I can't do it on my own. Angel. Sister is an angel. This whole experience took, maybe an hour altogether, but it was filled with angels and intuition and something that, let me tell you, was a big curveball coming from nowhere. And I think I was too stunned to blame anybody. I couldn't blame my car. I couldn't even blame me. It's like, what? Okay. 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 So I've learned a lesson. So it's still sore, by the way. I tore the meniscus. They didn't do surgery. It's still a little sore. There's still swelling in the back, but you know what? It's okay. Because I found faith that I didn't realize had, and it showed up. It was not just an ideal or an idea in the mind of Susan. It was real angels, real faith, making something possible that in the moment seemed impossible. One of the other things that's happened this last month, talk about curveballs, you make a talk title and here they come up. And one of them was about relationships. So a couple of people whom I trust, whom I care about it deeply as friends, whom I have relied upon in the past, I'm using abrasive language. They lied. They lied. They didn't keep their promises. They let me down sorely, even though we had verbal agreement of something. And one of those friendships is gone now. And by mutual agreement, we both agree this friendship is not working. Goodbye. Whew. Big curveball. Big curveball for both of us. But here's something I want to note here. This curveball that I had been receiving, I learned last night in reading about this is that the pitcher who throws the curveball is the hardest pitch to master, because if he or she doesn't do it exactly right, they could pull and tear ligaments in their shoulder. Their shoulder. That was an interesting thing. So those people who do things unto us, that's their circus. That's not mine. I can deal with what's coming at me. But sometimes when we throw curveballs, we run the risk of hurting ourselves even more deeply. And this one relationship I just talked about, I am good in God with this parting of relationship. She's already had 2 or 3 more calamities after it. Her curveballs. She was the pitcher. Be careful what you pitch. Walk in your own faith. Be true to yourself. And when you think you've pitched a curveball, here's what my suggestion is. A, pray. B, forgive yourself. Oh, geez, what did I just do? God, forgive me for doing that. And then tell the other person. You may not mend the fences, you may not do that, but by just that act of forgiveness, that act of sorrow, I'm so sorry, I may have thrown you something you didn't expect. I'm sorry. Can we patch it up? Can we move forward? And if they say no, that's okay. You've done your bit to cleanse yourself, to put your shoulder back together, so to speak. Now we all go through these curveballs coming at us, those unexpected events that sometimes we handle with grace and dignity, and sometimes we fall flat on our butts. But, what happens when you have one of those things? So, more suggestions. Talk to somebody you trust. Like, oh my gosh, this person just threw me this curveball, and I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen to me get it out of my system. Just let me get it out of my system. You might turn to a spiritual book to say, what happens when, what happened to Job when God and the devil gave him all of this stuff that he had to deal with? He just blindly went forward. And you can read that and go, okay, he somehow persevered and he came out okay. You can pray, taking it into prayer. You can go inside of yourself and meditate and face the incident that happened and really ask yourself, is this mine to deal with, or am I the face for somebody else's circus, for somebody else's ignorance, for somebody else's pain? Because if I'm just the face, it's not my circus. I can just be that loving, creative being of Christ right here among us, giving them love, giving them support, giving them whatever they need. But if it's mine to deal with, I pray, I meditate, I go inside and forgive myself, and I walk in faith, trusting that those angels will show up. The firemen, the clean traffic, partying with dignity in relationships that no longer serve either party. So a lot of people in New Thought suggest that you pray in the 2 or more, right? Have a prayer partner, have somebody else you can pray with, so they're witnessing your prayer and you witness their prayer. And I used to think it had to be a human being. But that day with the car and the meniscus and the knee, I realized that the 2 or more is whenever I call upon the name Jesus Christ within me, I am calling on that presence that is something I've never seen, but I've felt. And in doing that, I anchor myself in that Christ presence, that love that has no opposite, that truth that is true truth, not just a maybe. And I can walk in faith. I can walk trusting that there's a power and a presence outside of me that guides me and guards me and protects me along the way. Whether I understand it or not, it's there. It's there. And it's real because today I can tell you this. These stories are real and true in my very heart and in my flesh. You know, I'm sorry for those people who may no longer be part of my existence, my life. And I wish them well, and I send them on their way with love. But you know what? Not my circus. It's their circus. And if they can learn something through our relationship, great. And if they can't, it's okay, because I have. I've learned even more deeply to be true to myself, to be true to my word, that when I promise to do something, I will do it. Or I will call them and let them know why it hasn't happened yet. I will be true to my word. Oh, that's good. I was going to read some more from the August 2nd Unity book, but I'm not. I'm going to go forward. So it is by faith, believing in that thing that we can't see, that blossoms and holds you to your path of righteousness. You know, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. That's faith. That's faith. Things happen. We got off our timing. Things get hung in a different place. Service gets started late. You know, things happen in life. And it's walking through the valley of the shadow of death, fearing no evil. Because every person, and I said this earlier, every being on the planet has that same God seed, if you will, spirit seed within them. And they act out of their consciousness, not necessarily out of their God center. But they have it. So it's seeing other people as holy, even when they appear to not be. As faithful, even though they appear to not be. As love, even though they appear to not be so loving or kind-hearted. That's part of our faith, knowing and believing that there is good in the world. There is good everywhere in the world, and you ought to have it. You ought to have it. So even when you find your faith is running thin, the next thing you can do in situations where someone or something happens that makes you doubt yourself, love. Unconditional love. Myrtle Fillmore once wrote, "As the sunshine brings out the colors in beauty, so the light of love brings out Christ virtues in people." So love, love, love. Quoting the Beatles, love is all there is. Love is all there is. So I may have missed some of my quotes. I may have missed some of my stories today. But here's what I really, really, really like. I found this cartoon on Facebook. And it's like a color crayon drawing of a bunny rabbit holding a briefcase and an umbrella that is a rainbow of colors. And the bunny rabbit is walking down a path away from you towards the mountains. And the caption is, "Don't look back. You're not going that way." Isn't that true? Curveballs happen, and you don't have to look back, except to go, "Oh, that's what I needed to learn." Instead, you're moving forward, going towards your good, going towards your love, going towards your destiny. So before we do the meditation, I found yet another thing on Facebook, and it's a letter. Not signed. I have no idea who wrote it. It was passed around through hundreds of thousands of people on Facebook, so I have no idea where it came from. But I do invite you to just, maybe close your eyes or focus on the Unity candle while I read this letter to you. The you that's had a rough week. The you that seems to be under constant storm clouds. The you that feels invisible. The you that doesn't know how much longer you can hold on. The you that has lost faith. The you that always blames yourself for everything that goes wrong. To you. You are incredible. You make the world a little bit more wonderful. You have so much potential and so many things left to do. You have time. Better things are always coming your way, so please, hang in there. You can do it. Let's go inside. We're going to take like 3 deep breaths. And as you take in the first one, say to yourself, light is in me. And as you exhale, I walk in light. Inhale, love is in me. Exhale, I walk in love. Inhale, God dwells in me. Exhale, I walk in faith. And as we just take these moments of silence, think about a curveball that's come your way. It doesn't have to be very big. It doesn't even have to seem very important. So just take a moment and think about that incident that you didn't see coming, that was tricky, not necessarily pleasant. And for just a moment, as you picture it, think about how you handled it. How did you respond? Blame yourself for not seeing it. Blame the circumstances for it. Ignore it completely. Cry. Stomp your feet. Go, oh well, just another one. And if you did any of those, think for just a moment how else you might have handled it. Looking at it in its face and saying, you know, you're a curveball, but I love you. I know you're an unexpected thing in my life, but I love you. I recognize this as being perhaps difficult, but I love you. Whatever the situation is, see the angels and archangels standing about you. Your spirit guide, feel the Christ light in you. However you acknowledge spirit surrounding you, take a look at it and say, I believe in you. I believe in the good that's inside of me. I am willing to walk in faith, trusting in a higher power for the good in my life. All you need have is a little faith, just the size of a tiny mustard seed. Oh, there may appear some dirt and grime around the issue. And sometimes things don't go exactly like you'd like them. But just believe that things are going to get better. Things will be a little bit brighter. Life is getting easier. Just believe in yourself that the night will turn to day, that within you is the very heart of God, the love of Jesus Christ. the essence of you, a spiritual being on your evolutionary path. Your destiny is to be the light of love. And all you need do is have a little faith in the power of love that surrounds you and is within you right here and right now. And with your next few breaths, as you come back to center and come back to this room, breathe in, I am love. And exhale, I am loving. I am love. I am loving. I am love. I am loving. And as you come back to the room, find your feet on the floor, breathing deeply. And know that each one of you here today, I love you, I appreciate you, I believe in you, the essence of who you are, loving beings on your evolutionary path. God bless you. God bless you. Breathe. Next on our list is it's our ability to give and receive love in a financial way. Your tithes and offerings. And there is within your bulletin, someplace close. I think I remember it. Maybe not.
It's here.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there it is. So if you would take your tithes and offerings, and if your gift today is being a doer, however you do it, however you pray this prayer, I would suggest you put your hand over your heart and say with me the offering blessing that's in your bulletin. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen.
Sing to me, my morning bird, sweetest song I've ever heard. Love's melodies in your heart's own word. Oh, sing to me, my morning bird, when the sun comes over the mountain, just to hear you sing your song. And all the stars lay down in heaven to take their rest till the evening comes. So sing to me, my morning bird, sweetest song I've ever heard. Love's melody in your heart's own word. Sing to me, my morning bird. Now don't you fly away from me without leaving me with your song. For the morning is much too lonely and so quiet when you're gone. And sing to me, my morning bird, sweetest song I've ever heard. Love's melody in your heart's own word. Oh, sing to me, my morning bird. Oh, sing to me, my morning bird. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Bless these things. So right here and right now, I bless these tithes and offerings in the name of beloved Jesus Christ, knowing that all of the funds that are in here, all of the love that has been poured into these baskets are returned to each one of us, multiplied and running over, for we are all abundant. Abundant in our trust, in our faith, and in our life. Thank you, God, for all of this. And I say amen. 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 Next, someone's saying
Right now, Jason is going to be reading our unity
statement of peace. See, I was trying to save you a step up.
You can wherever you want to be.
And you'll find it in your bulletin as well.
Yes.
Unity stands for peace
In the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God. For there is only one power and presence of God, and that God loves each one of us equally. It is therefore the position of unity to urge all nations, their leaders, and their people to turn to God by whatever name for guidance during these challenging times, and to pursue peace, not war. For this is what honors the God of our faith traditions. Unity stands for peace.
And on the back side,
The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the lion and the fatlings gather, and a little child shall lead them, and they shall not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord.
I will not be part of the killing of any child, no matter how lofty the reason. Not my neighbor's child, not my child, not my enemy's child, not by bomb, not by bullet, not by looking the other way. I will be the power that is peace. Amen. Now we get to form a closing circle.
yes.
Am I helping you?
Yes.
Good.
by all means.
We're going to form a closing circle, so if you're able and willing to stand and come join hands.
And also, anyone that would like to be added to our mailing list, or if they have email or anything, if you will give me the information after church, I will be very glad to add your names to our list.
And now is an opportunity for us to say names or issues into the circle, or to ourselves, just silently. And we will add those people and conditions and things to prayer. So we'll just take a couple seconds of silence. John McCain. Patricia Rowland.
Susan Marsh.
And these prayers are sent up into that one loving presence of God, knowing that all good is happening with and for those people and conditions that are being right now. Amen. Peace song.
Yes. And if you are familiar with the words, they're up there. Soon they will be up there. Yeah.
peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let this begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now join us in our prayer for protection. The light of God
surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is,
and all is well. Are you